Okay, Lowe's 659, customer Carlson. Just wanted to show you real quick the kitchen area. Let me step back over here in the table area. So we have a galley kitchen, sink, dishwasher right hand side, refrigerator, stove left hand side. This is an outside corner wall. See that? That's an outside corner wall. So the cabinets on this wall must be at least 3 inches back for your crown or finish reveal, just like the original cabinets were. We cannot fudge on that. That's short, this short of 8 feet on that wall. Now over here on this wall, cabinets are going to be the same layout, sink, dishwasher to the left. Take a look right here. I have a vent in the floor. See that? From the edge of this trim on your design to 18 inches, which is right on the metal. There's exactly 18 inches to that. So if you have to get that close, 18 inches is your maximum margin, but you need to stay back at least a couple of inches from that just so that we have room for our quarter round or whatever. So again, when you're doing this layout, do not come up to within 18 inches. Try to stay at 19 or 20 to where we don't have a problem with that vent being under our refrigerator. Now you heard me right. They're moving the refrigerator from this wall to this wall. So when the refrigerator gets moved, the telephone jack's going away. Made you a note right here. That is going to need a plug for the fridge. That needs to be a home run, not a GFI. If your fridge is actually plugged up on a GFI, compressor kicks on, it can kick the GFI and actually ruin all your food and everything in your fridge. So don't make that mistake. That has to be a constantly supplied circuit, power circuit for your refrigerator. Now the other thing is the water box. If you look back here behind the refrigerator, there is currently a water box there with an ice maker line attached to it, okay? That cannot be capped and left in the wall. That has to be done underneath the house. It has to be cut off under there and plugged for the water. The actual box and valve can be there for eternity, no problem. But we cannot cover an open box that actually has power or water source inside of it. You'll have issues with that later if we do. Now this plug that's here on the back of the refrigerator is a home run. It is probably run up through the ceiling of this house and into the attic. That by all really needs to be a GFI, and it needs to be moved to that wall over there. That would be the easiest way. Add a junction box in the attic and pull the wire to this one so that your refrigerator breaker outside matches what's actually going on inside the room. Now, this is a 15-inch base cabinet, 15-inch wall. Here we've got a range hood. There is a power cord for that range hood. So when we install the cabinet and you have us put in your microwave, and we call that an OTR microwave, when we put that in, we'll actually bring that plug up here and put it in the cabinet with a pop-in box using the range's cord. As long as the microwave you're going to buy is not a convection microwave, as long as it's a standard microwave, that circuit will be just fine as far as the microwave using the same power line. I give you a center line to the plug here from the right-hand wall. That's real close to the center line of the opening, but they're doing new floors and stuff, so you can move that around within 7.5 inches of left, 7.5 inches of right of that plug. You should be able to move it, but notice right here, this outlet is only about 5 inches from the edge of this range hole right now. So try to keep it close to the center as you can here so your outlets and stuff don't fall behind the stove. In other words, don't go put a 24-inch cabinet over here or something and create that problem with the outlets on the wall. Here, dishwasher is going to stay on the left-hand side. We do have some margin around the window at this point, but take a look. It is about 3 inches or so. So margin around windows is important so you don't have such a real tight feeling around your actual sink area. But the customer is looking at differences in types of cabinets. This is actually a standard overlay. See how much face frame that you have here? So standard overlay cabinets really can be pushed against a wall, just like this one was. And there's a little bit of gap, but we actually will put a molding over that. Same thing here, standard overlay cabinet base can be pushed against the wall. And if you look, there's plenty of room for that to happen. But full overlay would end up having to have a 1-inch filler here, a 1-inch filler there, which will change the margin on your window a little smaller, but it could also make your cabinet smaller. So if you're looking at suggestions for this kitchen, a standard overlay cabinet line would actually be a lot better use of the cabinets. Down here on the valves, those are 25, 30-year-old valves with a rubber washer in them. That rubber washer, when the day you crush that valve down, it's probably going to hold one time. And at night, when the pressure goes up, that valve could pop off and flood your house. So if you're going to depend on these valves for a little while, make sure you go and get some 3/8 compression caps, brass compression caps, and some water tape. When you take this apart, you're going to need 3 of them because you got 3 connections. Go ahead and tape those up, put some valve caps on them for sure as insurance, so you don't have a flooded floor. Come one morning, walk in, your house is flooded, since you're doing your own tear out. I always recommend replacing the valves. If you look, one's a double, one's a single, but the single there that's straight up to the bottom of the faucet, you could do that on both sides and then put a T and add a T on the top of it on the left. You do not have to have a double valve on the left-hand side. Imagine the size hole I'm gonna have to cut in the bottom of that cabinet to get a larger head double valve in. So the 2 single straight valves will be better. That's 1/2-inch copper, 3/8 compression valve. Last thing to talk about on this one is the customer wants the built-in pantry look, which is going to have the panels, have the deeper cabinet. They want the cabinets to look like they go to the ceiling. In fact, this will be a 39-inch upper cabinet with a 3-inch riser at the top. If you look underneath here, there's actually a board here. See that dust board in there? So the customer is getting rid of the valance and the dust board. That wire for that light is probably coming in. Let's see if I can see it. Should be coming in just right here on one side. I don't see it there, but it probably is coming out of the header above the window. Either way, there's going to have to be a light fixture put on the wall, or there's going to have to be a can put in the ceiling above this area here. Without a valance and without a dust board, that wire is still going to be hanging out of the wall. This is going to have the built-in panels, like I said, left and right, 24 inches deep. Make sure when you're doing the panels that you come in before, like I said, on the vent, 1.5 inches or so before the vent. And everything should be good as far as the length of the cabinet run. Have any questions about the kitchen? Feel free to give me a call, 423-650-1051. Have a good day.